So the sequence you saw to start this film, a video, whatever you want to call it, is a time lapse from the stack at Sutton where we're loading up to Sleaford. Now, the battery ran out around Wissington after about 2 hours, so I was hoping to get as far as Kingsley where I stopped for some diesel to change the battery, but it didn't quite last that long. So there's a gap. I drove for about 15-20 minutes, I guess, with no camera rolling, so that's why there's a bit of a gap and it's not as seamless as what it could be. Usual thing really, isn't it? So anyway, we're now reloading rape straw on the mighty drag to go back down to Stradbrook in Suffolk. So it's all coming out of the barn there, and it's quite nice really because it's a bit smaller and it straps down and looks quite clean and tidy really. So this is going for animal bedding rather than burning. So pop this on, get back, get it tipped, and then hopefully get another load on, I think, for Sleaford for tomorrow, so I can get a bit of an earlier start, because I started half an hour earlier this morning, get down there, get loaded, and then just lost all that time in the roadworks, as you probably noticed in the time lapse. So I was no further in front, so hopefully if I can get a load on tonight, I can get going early and actually go a different way and avoid the A14 altogether. So and then just make tomorrow a bit of an earlier finish. We'll see. So anyway, I'm going to start strapping this lot down, and we'll see what happens after that. Another day, another queue on the A14. Although this isn't for the roadworks. Went straight through them this morning. Just on my way to Ely. Doing 2 Elys today, but one's to the power station and one's to the AD plant with a load of bottom bales, because the stack has been there for 2 years now. I think the weight has just squashed the bottoms, so they're not good enough for the power station. So they're going to go to the AD plant, I believe. Oh, excuse me. So I thought I'd start early and beat the rush, which will beat the roadworks, and then we come to a grinding halt here. So yesterday I did a Sleaford again, which is all I've done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, is tip Sleaford, reload, South Kyme and back, which is why there's not been a huge amount done filming wise. Yesterday I actually thought I'll try going to Peterborough, then up the A15 through Bourne, which was a lovely way, and I thought brilliant, I'll film this Thursday when I come back for my 4th one. I don't know why I wasn't filming it on the way up, to be honest. That's because I didn't really know, I hadn't been through there before. Oh, that's not a good sign. So so coming up the A14 yesterday, straight for the roadworks, brilliant, and then coming to a grinding halt just past there, Bury West, because there had been a van had gone smashing into a parked container and a lay-by. So I lost a load of time there, but it's still going A14, A1 and round the Sleaford. Actually, I knew it would be much easier because there's a lot more dual carriageway, and I think if I don't get held up, it's a lot quicker as well. So I think in future now I should be doing that rather than going across country, because it's such a pain in the bottom going across country. Oh, excuse me. It's been lovely and sunny this week. I put the dogs out last night, and it just started to rain, and it's been raining all night, which is typical. So so I'm doing 2 today, and then because I'm a scrab arse, I'm going to just do 1 on Good Friday morning. That'll just be run up to Ely, tip, and then straight back, and that's that. I shan't reload or anything like that. So just because I've got a very short week next week, I'm only working 2 days. As Frankie Boyd is playing in Ipswich, so we're off to see him. So that's 2 days out of the equation, and with it being Easter Monday, I think if I worked Easter Monday I'd be a single man. So just doing the 1 day is fine by me. I never really think of Good Friday as a bank holiday, to be honest. I don't work in a bank, and I've kind of, I think I've just, well, obviously with Trans Am, just bank holidays are nothing, are they? Completely irrelevant. And I think even before that, I'd work a Good Friday if I could. So if I just do 1, I'll be home before lunchtime. So that'll do. That'll do. So, oh dear. They really want to improve the Newmarket junction up here. They should spend some money on that, because having it come off to a T junction on a major road is just downright dangerous and stupid and rubbish. But there we go, maybe one day it will get done. Anyway, I think I've done enough waffling in this queue. Oh, what a palaver, eh? Let's see what the rest of the day brings. Well, change of plan. When I got to Ely, there's a big old queue. and the lady said, station went bang last night. Not as in exploded, but something broke, which is happens fairly often with these power stations by the sound of it. So she said, you have to give me a ring in half an hour and just see what the crack is. So in that time another 2 trucks turned up and nothing had really moved. Eventually I saw some movement, so I just gave her a ring, so it'd been over half an hour. And I was given the choice of either sit there for, it was going to be 2 to 3 hours at least, if not longer, or go and tip of the holding area. And as nice as it would have been to sit there for several hours as I'm getting paid, the knock-on effect if I'd done that would mean I couldn't get a second load in, so I'd actually finish a lot earlier today, which would actually mean, despite sitting there getting paid, I then earn less because I'm not doing as much. So I thought, well, sod that. And with Ely Power Station as well, once you go in there and start joining the queue, drop down the slope, you've got no internet signal. So I ain't got a book with me, and would have been pretty bored, I would say. There's only so many games of Royal Match you can play. So yeah, I was like, sod that. So there's a holding area which I've just delivered to. It's about, well, it's nearly half an hour away with all the track you've got to go down. It's not actually that far away. But what I'm going to do is, once I get out onto the, they've got a private tarmac drive, and what I'm going to do is turn the camera around and just film myself coming down there, because this truck, I can't remember if I've mentioned or not, with the seat in these DAFs, they've done away with the button which means you can take the bounce out of them. But my old 09 plate was great, because you just had that down and you'd just be sat on air and it would just stay quite firm and you wouldn't hop about, which was ideal in Russia and places like that. But these newer ones don't have that option, so driving this is kind of like riding a horse, because it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. And it doesn't normally bottom out very often, but the fen roads around Ely aren't exactly favourable for it. And I just found myself laughing my head off to myself coming down the road at just how bouncy it was. So I just thought I should just try, I'll turn the camera around and just film it, and just to see what it looks like. I will just say I won't have my seatbelt on, but it is a private road, and it's just because it's so bouncy, having that seatbelt on just going to be too uncomfy. It's bad enough during the day with all the other bumps. And the truck was lovely and clean up until this morning, and now coming down here it's just going to be minging again, so I'll have to stay like that because I don't think I'm going to have time to clean it. I don't know what the weather's meant to be like tomorrow. Right, so I'm going to stop this now and I'll turn the camera around for when I get back on the tarmac. It's just down the end there. I'll turn right onto the tarmac and head back to the main road, which is a B road, back to Chatteris and back down. Let's see how this goes then. And half the problem as well is, because it's a manual, it's I was trying to split it down a gear because I was hopping up and down so much I could barely keep my foot on the throttle. And so when I was loaded, I was losing revs so much, It's like normally like a horse, but today the old bucking bronco was not impressed. And I'm doing just over 10 miles an hour. I can't. And it's being a single lane track. Obviously got to hope that you don't meet anything coming the other way, because I mean, heck, God, there's not anywhere really to pull over. That's, God. It's a bit of a workout in itself, just coming down it. I think the worst of it's over, but I'm not too sure. Try and God. Remember years ago doing 120 kilometres of roadworks in Russia, but that was in my own line, and the seat didn't do this, thank God. I've never been seasick in my life, but I might be by the end of this track. Luckily, the end is nigh. God knows what this is going to come out like. Oh, we are just about there. Hooray! Right, I can stop this, put my belt on and get going. Well, it's certainly a good Friday. It's a beautiful day. Come on, red light, you can change, there's nothing coming. I can't go until that light changes. There we go. So after not getting back till, crikey, what, I can't remember now, 7:30, something like that last night. Early start this morning, get loaded, and then straight up here. I went to go on the, I thought I'd come back on the A11 yesterday to avoid the roadworks at Ixworth and Woolpit. Accident. Oh, for God's sake, you just can't make it up. So typically my little GoPro box, which has been sat there for absolutely ages, decided to go flying. So yeah, accident on the A11, so I lost a load of time there. I then ended up having to have another half an hour break on the way home, which is really annoying. There we go, such is life. So yeah, this morning load up, boom, straight through the roadworks, even still people can't seem to sit at 50 miles an hour, and I just can't understand why, other than they're hopeless. You know, it's not difficult. I don't think the cameras are even on yet. So straight up here, straight in the power station. And it's good up here because they help you take your straps off. And it's taken me as long as it took to roll the straps up for him to tip the truck. I was in there 17 minutes, I think. And it's now empty back the yard and start the long weekend. So not too bad at all, really. So with that, I'm going to sign this off. And next week's a short week, so I shan't bother doing anything. And hopefully, all going well, touch wood, the week after, we shall be doing a go fetch trip. So I expect that's probably the next time I'll bust the camera out. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch up with you soon.